Was allowed the crossover to come back to the middle. You've just got to send him one way and hope for help. But if he has choices, he's a lot harder to guard.
Is really single digits on the shot clock. Doolittle in a mismatch, gets a double team. Cheatham was quick to recognise it. An open man baseline firing, and it tumbles there for Henschel to open his account. Cotton lost control. Gazer. Here's Vasiljevic drawing contacts. And he's going to the free throw line.
Well, Vasiljevic has been important. He's come on and he's provided a target. He's only had the two field goal attempts, one of two, but
that's your official warning.
2 times, guys. Here we go.
That's your official warning.
Engaged.
Warning, coach.
Giving a spark to the offense. Might have got away with a left-hand push-off.
Just a reminder, Hoops Fest is coming up pretty soon as well. 15th until the 18th of January. Don't miss out on everything Hoops Fest. Hungry Jacks, NBL and WNL. Single digits on.
He's just won $1,000 for his family. Thank you very much for Mega Awards as well. Sign up as a member. It is free. They've got giveaways galore. Let's get into the second quarter.
Hey, set the tone early, you guys, so us off the bench can come in and feed off your energy. Come on, come on.
Now, come on. Go through what you do. Success.
Finish. What? What? On what? Ken, how's that a foul? Windler goes A to B. Isaac goes A to A. What do you want him to do? Bro, that's a foul.
We gotta stay together.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go. Let's get fish. Let's go fish.
Sunday hoops, baby. Sunday hoops, baby.
Welcome back to the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, where the 36ers trail Perth by 9. 20-29 is the score. I was just listening into JR. He says, "Our ball, let's get it in." He's looking to Doolittle to screen BC and says, "Let's keep up the deck."
Well, they've done it well, Steph, so far, and they get a quality look early here, but Luala-Chul is off the mark, or he has 7 in the game.
Yeah, great play to come out. Luala-Chul getting that close to the basket.
Yeah, I love the fact that they posted him up right under the basket.
Cotton exploring baseline off glass, comes up with the 2, so he's got 7 in the game and no one has more. Hutchin at 7. And the fans here shell-shocked in Adelaide. 36ers 9-2 at home this season. Losing to Perth and Sydney as Luala-Chul draws the foul, this time on Rakocevic, and the Bigs have had the better of Adelaide's tall timber.
Well, they are, and they're really testing him. They're pounding it inside, and points in the paint has been huge in that first quarter, it's 18-8 in favour of the Perth Wildcats. So they are making a real concerted effort to get to the rim. And as they should, they're only 1 of 8 from the three. So they've had some problems from the three-point line. Burgers on offer.
And they gave them up in the first quarter when he was here in round 8, Joe Lawala-Chul. And he's obliged to gain here as well today. Back-to-back for him. Download the NBL app, click on the Hungry Jacks banner, and enter the code word LEADER. Before 6 p.m. tomorrow for Will Berger. Now Bryce Cotton is coming up strong, and John really calls timeout.
And listen to the crowd straight away. All it takes is 1 or 2 baskets, Dave, and the crowd gets up and going.
So that's outrageously tough to step back.
Good D. I mean, he didn't do anything
wrong.
wrong.
Again, he goes right and then still comes back to his left. Stay on that left hand and keep him going right. Don't let him come back to the step back because he's got 10. He's 4 of 6, and Bryce is on a heater.
Okay, easier said than done, but here's Mr. Defense over here. Telling somebody how to stop.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Well, let's hear what Bryce had to say pre-game.
Are you anticipating that they'll be extra fired up and seeking some redemption today?
Yeah. I think it's a must-win for both teams for different reasons, but they're obviously trying to claw back, get back to their identity, and we know how last game went between us two. So, you know, they're gonna have some things I think etched on their whiteboard, but we do too. So we'll find out who comes out on top.
Bryce Cotton always trying to play down the occasion, leading the league in scoring at 26 a game, leads the league in assists at 8 a game, leads the league in steals at 2 a game, leads the league in MVP voting, I would expect, as well. And also getting to the free throw line and 3-point shots. Do it all, man. But Adelaide on the back of his 3 have opened up with a 5-point run here at the start of term number 2 to cut a 9-point quarter-time margin to just 4 and just give the Wildcats something to think about. Potential fires unsuccessfully.
They've weathered the storm, haven't they? The 36ers, and pretty simple formula. They've been able to get some stops and down this end be a little bit more efficient thanks to the best player in the competition in Bryce Cotton.
Here he is again against Elijah Pepper. What about pulling the trigger quickly now with red numbers on the shot clock? He's forced to fire, can't connect. And a foul going to be called here on the Wildcats, Ben Henschel. Second personal for him. First foul on Perth in this quarter. Adelaide on a 16-6 run here, bracketed across quarter time after the Wildcats at one stage led by 14.
And we need to perhaps get an update. Duke Jr. as well. Just looking at him on the sidelines. And
well, let's find out from Steph Baumgartel now.
Oh, okay.
I just spoke to the club. They're keeping their cards close to their chest with this one. They've basically confirmed that something is wrong, but they wouldn't say what. I'll let you guys speculate, but his tape got tape all around his elbow.
Well, what it is, it was a hyperextension. He went up and he just had his arm pulled and it was locked in. Originally we thought it was the wrist, but perhaps it was the elbow. And Doolittle.
Man on a mission.
Just powering his way to the bucket.
I wouldn't take that personally either, Steph, because the Wildcats probably have a reputation as the most difficult team to deal with in the NBL.
Is that right?
Yeah, they don't like
In terms of sharing information on players when they come out of a game, I've certainly had that in the past as well.
Wasn't aware of that.
And they like to keep things close to their chest, as Steph explained, but they're looking for their first points here of the second quarter, and they get them from the stripe after 2 minutes. Remembering Adelaide took more than 2 minutes to score in the opening quarter, and they got their first points from the free throw line.
And the way Duke Jr. is grimacing on the sidelines.
No, he doesn't look good, does
It's hard to say he's coming back.
So the margin back to 4. 2 minutes played, term number 2. It's the first or the second of 5 road games for the Wildcats. Playing 4 different states and New Zealand during this period. Just crucial to their season hopes. 5th on the ladder at the moment. Here's Cheatham elevating and drawing a foul on Sunday Detch. Going to be his second personal.
I like the move with Cheatham on the box. He's a willing passer. He only takes what's given. And so athletic and strong. down low, when he catches it that close to the bucket, he's going to be high percentage if he doesn't get fouled.
72% free throw shooter this season, Zylan Cheatham. 67 of 93 coming into this game. Only Cotton gets to the stripe more for Adelaide. Averaging 12 points, 10 boards. Second in the rebound count in the competition. So the margin is 3. As Doolittle does the ball carrying duties against Cheatham. Good battle between two of the premier power forwards in the competition. And Doolittle's got his measure at the moment. He's got 11 to lead all scorers.
How confident does he look? I mean, Perth are a different team when he's rolling like that. There's no secret. He said it. He said, my teammates depend on me to be the man, so.
Coming off a season-high 30 in Tasmania a week ago. His 3 previous games combined, which is 17 points. Here's Cotton, forced into a tough shot with good deep, and he's made a living out of hitting tough shots. Bryce has got 13, including 3 of 4 from deep.
And really looked like he just accepted that. I mean, what else can you do? You play good defense and he makes a tough shot. You pat him on the ball and you say, well done.
Detch gets a look he likes, can't convert. Loose ball scramble here. Rakocevic puts a stop to it. Cotton wanted the outlet pass quickly, but wasn't comfortable releasing the ball, Rakocevic. Now Cotton's got it, and he's in a mood at the moment, Bryce Cotton, against his former team. Rakocevic beckons Vasiljevic in his direction, now feeds Cameron. Red numbers on the shot clock here for Adelaide. Delicate pass from Cameron and a look away to Rakocevic.
I love the way they're sharing the ball, goes side to side, gets different actions, and each of those actions, there is some good scoring opportunities. It's not just about motion for the sake of motion. They're exploring and putting a lot of pressure on the Wildcats defense.
After a slow start, Adelaide warming to the occasion, but Sunday Detch gets it done with his second field goal. 4 minutes played in the second. 12 days of Christmas continues in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Tomorrow it's Tassie against Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Now going to be called here on Adelaide.
It's an on-ball screen. Rakocevic gets called for it. It's so hard to set screens in this league these days. You've got to be locked in, and you better not change your mind, because any sort of movement.
But I don't know if it's hard. I just think it's because it's so many these days. Back in our day, we ran the system.
I know, Coach.
Now there's high pick and rolls. Everybody's doing it.
No, that's true, but still, some of these fouls that get called, I don't think we've got the balance right between the offense and the defense when it comes to screening.
It really comes up empty. Humphrey's back onto the floor in a mismatch against Jaron. Really takes him down low and comes up with his first score in the game. He's dominant when these teams last met in Perth with a career best 28 and a big block that set them running for Flynn Cameron's game winner. He wasn't even supposed to be out there at the time, but down low again. Joe Luala-Chul makes it look easy. 9 in the game for him.
It was from the elbow, and he knows that Humphrey's got the 2 fouls, and Humphrey very tentative on that play.
Vasiljevic pulls the trigger on the 3, and Adelaide have got 5 of 6 from deep, and Perth are 1 of 10 from long range, and Adelaide are in front for the first time in the game. Well, this is a turnaround. They were down 14 in the opening quarter. As Doolittle puts it on the deck, spinning, slicing his way off a $1 million move and a 10-cent finish. Humphreys at the other end, attacked strongly by Luala-Chul, talked him out of the points, up-tempo, entertaining. Everything we expected this would be between the most prolific winning team in the competition with 10 championships. Perth and Adelaide on top of the ladder right now. Winless 3 draws a timeout from Mike Wells.
How pretty is that jump shot?
One of the purest jump shots you'll want to see.
He's sitting right there at angle high. It is so pretty when he leaves his right.
The youngsters out there, if you want to learn how to shoot and you want to mimic a technique, if you're the right-handers, maybe you look at it through a mirror, but otherwise, excellent stuff.
It was indeed, and speaking of excellent, well, Christian Doolittle's been that, and I spoke with him pre-game.
And it seems how you go is how your team goes. Do you feel that pressure of being such a pivotal part of the team?
I wouldn't call it pressure. I'd call it more of a responsibility. Understanding that my performance directly impacts how we do as a team, and so mentally I take that as a check mark, you would say, going into each game to try to be as effective as I possibly can.
Well, he's being effective here, Christian Doolittle. 11 points in the game, 3 rebounds, a couple of assists as well. And as Scott Roth suggested, he's the best player in the competition. Certainly, I've got him in my top 5. If I was picking a 5 to play a game for me right now, Christian Doolittle's in it.
Oh, yeah. That's, I think, would be in most people's top 5. You've gone pretty broad with your top 5. Is he in your top 3?
Well, I picked my starting 5.
But I'm just talking about just
well,
4-man. Is he the best 4-man?
He's the best 4-man in the competition.
You're trying to put categories around
I'm picking a starting 5 of PJC, Bryce Cotton. Then I'm going to go with Doolittle at the 4. 5 is JaVale McGee. And the 3 spot, I had Casey Prather in there through the first half of the season before he was injured.
Right.
And now that is up for grabs. And who would go in there at the moment?
Probably
maybe Nathan Sobey.
Or Wingler. Oh, Sobey. He's more a... Yeah, I guess you could put him in there. He deserves it. He's having an unbelievable season.
Brown down low to Cheatham, who elevates with an on-preferred left hand and comes up with the bucket to tie us away at 40. 4 and a bit minutes left until half-time. You know where to look here. It's all happening. Trust you are enjoying our coverage wherever you may be watching around Australia and beyond. The Hungry Jacks NBL turning it on between these arch rivals. In the corner, 3 ball, and it's all the bottom of the net. There's a nice finish for Lat Mayan, who was knocking down 3s here with the West Adelaide Bearcats in NBL 1 back in August and winning the championship. Cameron looked off the D, got it to Troy Brown Jr. He's off the mark. And Jaron really has the loose ball. A chance for the Wildcats to extend the margin here. Doolittle tried almost a triple team there. Get the ball outside. Lat Mayan fires again. This time can't convert.
Well, after a real shaky start in the first quarter, Troy Brown Jr. spent a big chunk of time on the bench, and now he might be heading back there. Oh, no, saved it with a air ball and almost a turnover.
Well, Cotton was contact with Riley there on the shot. It goes unwhistled. He's not happy about a Bryce Cotton. Make sure the referees were aware of that. Windler knew that shot was off the mark straight away, scurried after it, but it spills it out of court. Adelaide will get possession inside the last 3 minutes of the first half. Aquera and Ben Henshaw will check in. And Luala Chul sits down along with Jaron Riley.
When you spend a chunk of time on the sideline like Riley has, hard to come back at this intensity.
Yep.
You can replicate it as much as you want in practice, but nothing like being in the games. And he does look like they're nursing him through this one, easing him back into it.
A little rusty, perhaps.
Great to have him back, though, because he's so smart. He runs his foot.
Oh, Doolittle's picked up the foul here. It's going to be a second person, and straight away John Riley is looking at the video review.
He's going to lose because if he does decide, because it was very, very soft. A slightest of nudges under the ball, but it was there.
Second team foul.
No. See the left hand?
Foul
very
Doolittle.
slight.
Red numbers on the shot clock now as Humphries down low adds to the tally and back to a 1-point ball game. A little over 2 minutes out from half-time. Doolittle shares it with Aquera, puts it on the deck against Humphries with those 2 fouls. Windler working the baseline, comes up with a 2. He's into double digits.
Great ball movement from the Perth Wildcats. Put your thing in the middle of the lane and turn. Guys are cutting.
And Aquera's done a long apprenticeship across a couple of teams, but this season he has become a legit player.
Without a doubt. Some good moments for the Boomers as well in Major Cup qualifying games. Here's Humphries back behind the back with Nudge taking the shot. So he's off to the free throw line, and Aquera is going to pick up the foul. It's going to be his first. Plenty of basketball action to look forward to. We're in round 14 of 22, then the finals, and then the 100-year tour of the Harlem Globetrotters is coming in June, July next year. Nice. There could be a chance to be part of the 100-year tour across Australia and New Zealand. You can buy your tickets, scan the QR code. And you're certainly going to get the family along and have a bit of fun. The Harlem Globetrotters.
Unbelievable entertainment they've provided for a century.
Red!
It's a pretty good act. All the favourites are still in action as well. Shot from the centre line, the little hooky they do.
No Curly Neal, though. Danny, they got any Curly Neals out there?
Confetti in the bucket. Elmo, what they do? All sorts of ball handling trickery. Just a little confusion with the substitutions.
Some confusion about that, but Latmayan checks back in or doesn't check out, on your point of view. Jaron Riley will bring the Wildcats forward. They're up 2. Up by as many as 14. An unbelievable opening quarter. Well, Adelaide steadied the ship and rallied to get back into the equation. Single digits on the shot clock now. Really none of 2 from the field. Gets his first points.
That's just special. The way he reads it, the way he reads the play.
And how's the touch with the left? Soft off the glass in traffic.
Continuation waved away there. No score for Flynn Cameron.
Okay, thank you.
Foul.
There's the Amy replay case. See how he's not afraid just to get in there. And nice kiss off the glass. Crafty by the coach's boy.
Confident. Okay. Well, you would be confident if your dad's the coach.
Well, he spent Christmas Day with him, so he gets to. There's advantages to that, but there's also some disadvantages because, you know, he's got to hear about all the different things that aren't necessarily going right in the coach's mind, I suspect, and how he's trying to get this young fella to sort things out.
The advantage is you get to play 48 minutes in a 47-minute game.
You need to just refresh your statistical data.
No. So a little over a minute left in the first half. Wildcats by 2. But Adelaide briefly had their noses in front. Quite an arm wrestle, really. This one opening with a hostage dribble on Cotton. Now he beats Latmayan, who aggressively gets to the baseline. Overcooked the shot, though. Cameron lost the handle on it, kept it alive to Cheatham, and Adelaide with a chance now. Tie it away or maybe even take the lead as Flynn Cameron working on Windler. Down to an opening, pulls up. Can't convert, though. Played 50% from the field and 63% from deep. Efficient. Wildcats have just been a little better. Lawala Chul from close range. Talked out of the points initially, but cleans up nonetheless, and he's got 11, and only Bryce Cotton with 13 has more in the game.
Your hands is there.
Really's attempt to try and deny Bryce the ball. He's whacked him in the ear.
We're over the limit, so free throws to come. Cotton to the free throw line for the first time.
Top of your screen, Case. Left hand, Zaza. And that's got to call that.
2 guys.
And gets to the free throw line. He's taken more free throws than any other player in the competition.
You know why? He's done that, Case? Forget about what other people might be telling you. It's because he gets fouled the most, Case. Simple as that.
That's why he gets there.
A lot of people think he might get some preferential treatment. Well, watch what goes on off the ball and what doesn't get called on Bryce Cotton as well.
That's a clear illustration of what we saw it there with Jaron Riley. There's plenty of those that don't get seen.
On the head for contest for the ball. Loose ball.
That's what happens when you're the best player in the competition. You get that type of attention and it's hard not to foul.
A chance for Adelaide once more. Up the margin to 3. And the shot clock, 10 seconds inside the game clock. Cotton saw the double team coming. Gets it to Troy Brown Jr., who works inside, kicks outside. Isaac White fires from deep, can't convert, and a chance now for the Wildcats. Going to lead at half-time. The question is by how many here? Is Jaron Riley one way, back the other. Tough shot, fires, can't convert. And the first half concludes here, and after leading by 9 at quarter time, Perth settled for a 3-point buffer at the major break. It's Perth 49, Adelaide 46.
Yeah, it's what a half it's been. Very entertaining. Looked like Adelaide just came out in second gear, but they were challenged, and to their credit, they answered the call and bounced back after giving up a double-digit lead. But the Wildcats would be happy to be going in with this 3-point lead.
26-20, they win the second quarter after it was Perth 29-20 in the opening quarter. Let's get some reaction courtside with Steph.
Thanks, John. Got Dylan Windler with me. Well done. You started strong early. How were you able? What are you happy with about the first half?
Yeah, just staying aggressive, putting pressure on their defense. I think getting out transition, try to get easy buckets before they start their offense. And we just got to clean up our defense a little bit, stop fouling, especially away from the basket, giving them easy free throws. But
what's the message going to be from coach to pull further away at halftime?
Just keep locking into the details, the scout. Just stay crisp, value every possession, and finish it with a rebound.
Thanks, go well. What a start to Sunday Hoops here at Adelaide's Entertainment Centre. The Perth lead at halftime. Stay with us. We'll be back right after the break to get into it. For the 36ers and the Wildcats, and what a game it is shaping up to be. The Cats lead at halftime by 3 points, but they'd be feeling a little antsy in the change rooms. It is still too close for comfort. Leonard Copeland and Andrew Gaze, we've got the numbers coming up in a moment there, but what are you liking so far about this first half?
Well, if I'm the Perth Wildcats, I'm loving that we've only had one turnover and we've got the lead, because David Duke Jr. looked like he's got a significant injury. So to be able to deal with that, sure, they gave up a more comfortable lead, but they were able to weather that storm, and the shooting percentages have been good, albeit that the 3 of 14, they're a better three-point shooting team than that. And there's plenty of upside, even though they've got a 3-point lead.
The two superstars have hardly come out of the game. I mean, if you look at Bryce Cotton, he's played 19 and a half minutes, and Doolittle's played 18 minutes. So this game is all about the two guys that are playing extremely hard.
He's the man getting it done. There are our Hungry Jack's halftime highlights there. Gazy, what do Perth need to do to limit him in the second half?
Well, it's a tough assignment. You think of the ball's in his hand so much. They set a lot of screens, and he is so quick and crafty with the ball. He reads the defense better than anyone in the competition. And you see in these last two buckets that he's made, the change of direction. Just keep him going one way. Sure, you still might be getting beat going one way, but it gives yourselves a better chance and you know where the help's coming from. But when he is 3 of 5 from the three-point line, 5 of 10 overall, he's got the 14 points. He gave him a great spark, as did DJ Vasiljevic with the 10 points. DJ Vasiljevic asked his starters when he heard the mic say, come on, set the tone. Well, they didn't do that. DJ, with his experience, came on and really gave the team a lift.
Now, we were talking about Doolittle pre-game. Leonard, how are you feeling about his performance?
Well, you can tell this team belongs to Doolittle. The way he's playing, 11 points and 3 rebounds, the way he shot the ball and the way he's running the system. They go to him every time up top. Now, whether he wants to pass it or not depends on him and how he's feeling, but he's strong enough to get to the basket whenever he wants. He dunks the ball. He uses that big body to throw these guys around. But look, this is Doolittle's team. This is how he gets it going.
Now, it hasn't been all good news for the Cats, but we saw David Duke Jr. take to the bench. We'll take another look at the injury. The Cats have confirmed something is wrong. They wouldn't alert into what it was. Perhaps look away now if we're going through another replay of that one, but it doesn't look great. A hyperextension of the arm there. How much of a loss is that?
Well, I remember when we played, Mark Brackey had a similar injury and he was out for a good couple of months. So let's hope that that's not the case. But that vision there, we should have put up some sort of warning because that looked terrible, the way in which that arm, it's not supposed to bend in that direction, that way. So it looks like a significant injury that he's going to face, and clearly it'd take a miracle for him to come back in this one here today.
Well, there's still plenty of match play left in it today. It's been an exciting afternoon of Sunday hoops so far. Stay with us. We'll be back for a big second half right after the break.
Family, all you got to do is scan the QR code now for your opportunity to win 4 spots in our Guard of Honor for our next home game, which is very exciting. 4 spots on there, so scan that QR code. Speaking of which, got a couple of home games coming up over the next few weeks as well. So Friday the 2nd of Jan, the Kings are back here, which is going to be huge, and then the Jack Jumpers on the 9th. Tickets are selling quick, so get yours now. Tonight we also welcome the Vikings courtside access guests
Everyone's pregame is kind of different, but I'm pretty much in game mode from the moment I wake up. Adelaide is quiet. It's very calm, very slow pace, and everybody kind of keeps to themselves. And it's a city that gravitates around good things. Us having the success that we're having, I mean, you definitely feel it around the city, and it makes you want to bring a championship. Australia has the best food, bro, I swear.
Dada, this is so good.
It's so good. Having no ranch out here was like a culture shock for me. I put ranch on everything.
I make spaghetti and he puts ranch all over it.
His favorite thing to do when you lose, though, is to just let you know.
Facts. Dada, you lost today. I'm like, bro. I usually get up, eat breakfast, head to shoot around. That's kind of like the first little dress rehearsal. You never know. I could be listening to some Isley Brothers or something. I listen to Future probably more than anybody, honestly. You know, I don't take a moment for granted. Lost a lot of people to South Phoenix, whether it's drugs, murder, or just incarceration. You know, family members, classmates, friends that one day talking, man, I'm proud of you, then that's the last conversation you had with them. Let's get it. What's up with the brothers?
Good.
Great cut, man, great cut. Oh, yeah! Watch out, clear the baseline, guys. I can run. Oh, move, man.
Energetic, joyful athlete, like pure athlete.
He's a vocal leader. He's a defensive leader. He knows that he can impact. You know, I've said he's kind of like our Swiss Army knife, and that's on both ends of the floor.
A day in the life of Zylan Cheatham. Terrific work by the NBL creatives there, and the extended version of that available from NBL.com.au. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. He's been a huge success here in Adelaide and signed for another 2 years. The bad news is David Duke Jr. hyperextended that elbow in the first 3 minutes of the game. Coach John Riley has confirmed he will not be back for this game. And from what we saw during that replay and the history that you know about this, Andrew Gaze, Copeland, it could be a whole lot longer.
Well, it could be. You were hopeful that it's not that the case, but it did look ugly on the vision.
Second half gets underway. Mike Wells, coach of the Adelaide 36ers, has been kind enough to join us as well. Mike, appreciate your time. What's going to be key here at the start of the third?
Well, I think just sort of settling in and playing at our rhythm. You know, you got to give them credit. They really came out with great energy and jumped us. You know, and really we played the whole half at their rhythm and their pace. So, you know, just trying to get our shots and settle into the game here.
Coach, Isaac Humphries got into foul trouble early in the game, but you got to get him going in order to compete. How do you get him going?
Yeah, you know, he's a big part of our offense. We really kind of anchors us on both ends, and, you know, we'll find our rhythm with him. He's free to play here, and everybody's got, you know, a green light to go here.
And Mike, just a quick one. You've started the second half with Isaac White in place of Troy Brown. Can you tell us about that?
Well, just looking for that pace and energy. I say let's run the let's go horns go at, and put Sunday in it. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Got to make a play call once in a while.
All right, Mike. So, yeah, it's just to get some energy out there with Isaac White?
Yeah, you know, just the defensive energy up the floor to try to get it more our pace and our rhythm. And Isaac White has done that a whole bunch for us this season. And, you know, he's kind of one of those guys you can throw in there to change the whole pace of the game, and that's what we're looking for.
Really appreciate your time. Fantastic access. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Calling plays in between talking to the commentators, Andrew Gaze. What do you make of that?
Fantastic access. And Bryce Cotton looks like he's rolled his ankle. So that would be a great concern. Hopefully he can walk it off. But interesting the question you asked about Isaac White, because I couldn't have been more impressed with the way TJ Vasiljevic came in and gave him some energy, but they decided to go with Isaac White instead of him. Maybe just want to have that scoring punch. I guess the ankle is okay.
He's grimacing in pain and limping back down the floor, Bryce Cotton. The shot was off the mark. Fans on their feet here. Played over a minute. Neither team has scored since half-time. Margin as big as 14 in the first quarter in Perth's favour. Both teams in front in the second term. What a terrific second half we've got coming your way. As Doolittle lost a handle on it under pressure, and that's tough work there from Flynn Cameron.
Oh, he's hurt his ankle. Another ankle injury.
He's called for the foul in the process as he just got underneath Doolittle there. He's clutching that ankle.
Yeah, and this is what happens. Oh, he just landed on his foot, so that's where the ankle hopefully just got a tweak. But you've got to be cautious playing out the front with your Doolittle, just playing around with it and not really going anywhere, trying to set the defense up. I like what they see with like, if I'm Doolittle, we talk about putting someone in the box. Got Flynn Cameron on him. Just see how he goes posting up.
Bitch, tough shot, working against Cheatham. Knockdown out of bounds, last touch by Adelaide, so Perth will get it back here. They've had a lot of injury worries. Of course, Ben Henschel under a cloud with a calf injury coming in. Windler with an ankle problem. Dante Rousseau-Nance out with illness. And, of course, Karen really coming back from a hamstring injury. Now another foul on Perth on Sunday Ditch, going to be his third person.
It was off the ball. I think he was just trying to set a screen. That's probably why Pepper got so open.
There's still no score in this second half. Almost 2 minutes played as Cotton feeds Humphries. Lost the handle. Regathers, goes to work. Humphries adds the 2. He's got 7 in the game.
I mean, it's very important. You got to get him going. Adelaide don't win without Humphries playing well.
I know, but what's delay of game?
Delay of game called on Adelaide. A warning for John Riley. These referees have got their hands full here.
I think it was more not directly at John Riley. I think it was more some feedback that the bench was providing.
And as we mentioned, the delay of game on Adelaide as well.
There's the beautiful touch by Isaac Humphries around the rim. Just great hands.
66% field goal to lead that category in the competition. Here's JLA forcing him to play some defense at the other end. Tough shot, couldn't do it. Doolittle, strong rebound against a smaller Cameron who blocked his shot.
Blue ball, off red here.
And Adelaide are going to get possession as well. Their arms going everywhere there. Everyone had an opinion and they weren't all the same.
No, they didn't.
Poked out there by Sunday Detch.
There's a lot of hands in there.
So more than 2 minutes played in this second half. Adelaide closed the margin to 1. They briefly led at 38-37. It's the only time they've been in front. Bounce pass, Cotton, well timed. Cheatham couldn't handle it. Henschel. JLA hands over to Doolittle. Works to the baseline aggressively with a reverse finish. And Doolittle's up to 13 in the game.
That was one, Coach, where the fumble might have helped him.
Yeah,
Bryce Cotton was coming over to help out, and the fumble threw Bryce's timing off on the help side defense.
Cameron left alone, and he makes them pay. Showing no respect. He's having a great game, Flynn Cameron. 9 points, 5 boards, 4 assists.
He's having a great year. Certainly.
In the running for most improved, without a doubt. Humphries and Joe Luala-Chula at it here, and Humphries goes down. I don't think we've heard the last of this, but for Humphries with 2 fouls, he just needs to be careful. Luala-Chula doesn't have a foul yet, so he can afford to give one up if he so desires. Here's Cameron in the corner. Caught the 3 a little deep. So Perth by 3 with possession. 3.5 played, term number 3. It's top of the ladder versus 5th. And Doolittle goes to work to the baseline, and Humphries worried him out of the points. Now it's Cotton. 14 in the game for Bryce. To add to his half-time tally. Can't connect there. Loose ball. Well done, White. Just read where that was going. But had a foot on the line in possession.
He landed and through.
Chris Reed was right there. Now, they've had a delay of game warning.
Well, that is a delay of game.
And that looked like another there. So we're going to look at Isaac White in replay.
Good call.
Good call. Stepped out. Did he have possession of the ball at the same time? Or did he release it? Couldn't see from my angle. Luala-Chula is off the mark from deep.
I knew that was going up. Joe hadn't touched that ball in a while. I said, wait a minute. Just let you guys know. You better get me involved.
Isaac White against Henschel, muscles in, and from close range comes up with his first score in the game.
Yeah, you're right, Coach. He does have that. Now, he does have the capacity to knock it down. He's 4 of 8 from the field, Joe Luala took. But even in that, he's still only got the 3 rebounds.
Doolittle comes up empty, so a chance for Adelaide to retake the lead here. Cotton appears to have shaked off that ankle roll. Gets to the corner between the legs, shakes Henschel. Oh, pinpoint pass for Cheatham's finishing touches, and Adelaide are back in front.
What a pass. He sees things where others don't. Bryce Cotton. Amy replay. Here it is here. Now, there's your mistake. Don't let him come back to the right. If he has to take a contested 3, and somehow or other he reads the defense and just knows where Cheatham's going to be, and a beautiful drop-off pass in traffic. The guy's just a genius, a basketball savant.
Because everyone has their eyes on him, it's probably easier for him to drop that ball off. Everyone's watching Bryce on the floor.
Adelaide with their biggest lead of the game, middle stages of the third. Arm wrestle it's been. Sharon really hands over to Aquera. And gets it back. Shot clock to single digits. Picks up the dribble, needs help. Here's Lat Mayan firing over Cheatham and burying the triple to put Perth back on top.
That's spent some time in Adelaide, so he feels at home himself.
6 in the game now on 2 of 3 from deep for Lat Mayan. Season high of 7, in some danger here on the court where he won the NBL1 title with the West Adelaide Bearcats in August. So that's a neat finish. Again from Flynn Cameron.
We can go both ways, but you've got a choice. You want to take him off his left.
Aquera with Riley in support. 8 on the shot clock. They play the 2-man game, and Aquera for the finishing touches. First score since quarter time for David Aquera.
Wow.
And a technical foul is now being called on John Riley.
Well, John Riley, all he said was same call. He said same call, so maybe it was the body language or something, but he's right in front of us, and that seemed like a really...
But what's wrong with saying same call, though?
Well, I think it's the accumulation that he's got, but I agree. I don't think that we should have been crossing the line.
Well, we're sitting here between both coaches, and they're both going yapping at the refs, so I get it. Maybe the refs are upset, but...
What a record John Riley's put together since being coach of the Wildcats, though. He's 6-1 here in Adelaide, and after winning a championship with him as a player in 1998. 11-3 versus Adelaide overall is his record. It's an amazing run in his 4 seasons in the NBL as a head coach with the Wildcats. Cotton bumped as he feeds the ball to Flynn Cameron and count the 3.
He's been on fire all year long. Gotta give that man his flowers because he's having a great year.
What he's getting is opportunity. Yeah. Doubling his minutes, but a little over more than double his minutes per game, and he's delivering.
33 threes at 38% this season, Flynn Cameron. He's been super efficient. He had the game winner against Perth when they last played and came from 20 down in the last quarter. Cotton had it rattle in and jump out. Rakocevic, the O-board, the putback wouldn't fit though, and here's Cameron resting against Lat Mayan. And Adelaide will get possession here.
Well, it is. We saw that Johnny Travolta was, this time it was Lat Mayan with the Johnny, and he just, he's pretty seemed adamant that he didn't touch it, but just a little slow by the Perth Wildcats video coordinator.
Wraparound pass from Cotton, found Rakocevic. It took him a couple of goes, but he eventually hits the target, and Rakocevic now adds to his tally up to 6 in the game. Biggest lead for Adelaide now at 5 after they started this term down 3. So they've restricted the Wildcats here to just 9 points in this quarter. And another stop for them as well. 17-9 is the run in this quarter, and Rakocevic looking to add to it. Well, held out of it there by Aquera, and now collision with Lat Mayan. And the foul's going to be called on Rakocevic.
31.
Going to be his 3rd personal. 3rd team foul on Adelaide in this quarter. Perth also has 3 fouls this term.
Yeah, it just looked like 2 guys got tangled up, but somehow or other they found a call on Rakocevic.
He's taking Cameron out, and Cameron's been the spark plug in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, well, it gets to a point
7
where
points.
if you want to get your rotations in, someone has to come out.
Yeah, but I get it, but a guy that's hot and playing D and rebounding and stealing, he's on the floor for me.
7 of 17 that Adelaide has scored for Flynn Cameron. He's Detch, the former 36 that dribbled into a dead end. Who on the shot clock? Must go up here from Lat May, and he's off the mark, and Cheatham sky high for the rebound.
How high above the rim does he take that board?
8 boards for him now, all at the defensive end. Season average of 10, which is second in the competition. And down to the baseline. Bryce Cotton knocks down the double, and Adelaide extend the margin here. John Rillie calls timeout. Adelaide lead by 7.
You almost have to stay on his hip. Right here, they're bluing him. Well, they're sending him to the baseline, not allowing him to accept the screen, which is a good strategy. But almost have to stay right on his hip.
Tangerine timeout called, and Mike Wells speaking with us at the start of the third quarter. It's interesting to look at his record in comparison with some of the super coaches here in Adelaide in the past. He's just gone over the 50-game mark here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. And you look at the first 50 games for Adelaide coaches. Now, Gary Fox went 39-11. The record in the NBL is Brian Curl, 40 of his first 50. Ken Cole, championship winning coach at 64%. Phil Smythe won a couple of championships. Mike Dunlap went 30-20. They were top of the table twice in the regular season, but bowed out in the semi-finals on both occasions. And then Mike Wells comes in next at 58%, ahead of Joey Wright, Scott Ninnis, and CJ Bruton. He was the last coach of Adelaide to beat Perth in Adelaide, was CJ Bruton. So good numbers there for Mike Wells, the way he's been able in his second season to really have an influence in the NBL.
Yeah, it is. And full credit to Mike. He's a Coach of the Year candidate, and take nothing away from him. But Case, a lot of times it comes down to what talent you have at your disposal, and some of the coaches there did not have the tools that Mike Wells has right now.
They didn't have a Bryce Cotton, did they?
That's right.
And maybe Bryce Polyester. Get it?
Good attack off the ball. Vasiljevic goes down.
34, lucky foul.
Gets the foul as well, Vasiljevic. Going to be his first personal. 4th team foul on Adelaide. Here he is just turning the shoulder to block the run there of Doolittle. Here to initiate the contact. So 14 fouls on Adelaide now in this term. Over 2 minutes to play. Wingler hasn't scored in this quarter. Wildcats hasn't scored in this quarter. And Doolittle just at 2 points in this quarter. Doolittle had it deflected away by Humphries. Adelaide has certainly turned it on here since half-time. And inside the last 2 minutes of the third, they've got a healthy buffer of 7. Remembering Perth led by 14 in the opening quarter. Vasiljevic, baseline against Pepper. Likes his chances, but talked out of it. Troy Brown, Cheatham. Red numbers on the shot clock for Cotton.
Outrageous. That is so hard to guard because the action's so quick. As much as you lock in to Cotton, quick pass, give and go, and there's no help coming from the screen's defender. It's just a matter of whether he makes or misses the shot.
22-9 in this quarter for Adelaide. As Pepper works to an opening, caught it deep there. His first 3-point attempt of the game is off the mark, but Cotton adds another 2. What a quarter this is from the Adelaide 36ers.
With superstars like Bryce Cotton, when they've gone 6 of 23, you just do not want to be the next team they play.
They need to get some offense happening here, the Wildcats. Doing it under duress with David Duke Jr. out injured since the first quarter with a hyperextension of the elbow. Looked quite serious as Pepper misfires. So they're 4 of 19 from deep in this game, including 1 of 5 in this quarter, the Wildcats. And Cotton can smell blood in the water as he adds another 2. He's got 24, including 10 in this term.
And that's on everyone. Yeah. Everyone should be Bryce Cotton conscious. Someone should be there at the rim to meet him. But again, he goes left and crosses back into the middle. Got to keep him going one way.
I sound like a broken record. Every team in this league work on stopping Bryce. Make Bryce play some defense one time. Post his little ass up. I'm getting mad now. Put him on the box, make him, get him in foul trouble, so he has to sit.
Well, they're so tuned in. There you see the action. Now, if you're watching Bryce Cotton, the youngsters out there, if you want to learn the craft of the game, watch him timing on those screens. So he's working off the ball. But a lot of players, they don't know when the receiver's going to get it for the handoff. They're cutting off a screen when the pass is not ready. The timing is brilliant in what he is doing. A lot of people with a system and structure, they just run to a spot and then they're ignoring who's passing and where the ball's coming from. You've got to play a pass ahead.
11 unanswered points from the Adelaide 36ers, and we can add to the tally now. Vasiljevic is pumped up. He motions to the crowd to get involved on the three-quarter time buzzer. The 36ers are tearing this apart at the moment. They've opened up a 17-point lead, scored the last 14 of the quarter, and at three-quarter time it's Adelaide 75, Perth 58, and this has been outstanding from Adelaide.
My word, it has. And give their credit to the defense.
Want to hook up you and your mates with the ultimate NBL VIP experience?
Here's what Bunnings has got for your crew.
To hook up you and 4 mates, enter now.
Welcome back to the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, where the 36ers have clawed their way back and are up by 17 points to start the final quarter. The score is 75 to 58. The fans are fired up and ready for a massive final quarter. They want to bring it home. Gacy and Copes, I want to know, how do the Wildcats reclaim the game from here?
Well, they've got to flip the switch on what they did when they had this type of lead at home. And that's a good way to start, with really getting to the rim. And we heard in that game when Adelaide trailed by as much as 20, Mike Wells said, you've got to shoot the three, you've got to shoot the three. Now the problem is the Perth Wildcats are 4 of 20 on the afternoon. So they need a real change of events as, DJ Vasiljevic with a tough mid-range jumper.
And they got to get big Joe Luau-Chul involved as well. I think he took one shot in that third quarter, and it was a three because no one got the ball to him inside. So trying to let them know, you got to get me involved. You want me to play defense on one end and rebound, but not look at me on the other end.
We need stops.
Vasiljevic from deep. Didn't connect, kept alive well on Humphries for the O-board against Luau-Chul, who's going to be called for the foul, going to be his first in the game. Block warning's been issued against Vasiljevic. the earlier shot as well. It was 29-9 in the third quarter. Perth's lowest scoring third quarter of the season. Not their lowest scoring quarter of the season. They had 6 in a fourth quarter, but 9 their lowest scoring third of the season.
And Case, there's a concern because they've had trends in this season when they just can't score. And yet you give the defense a lot of credit, but they just go through periods regardless of not being able to score. And then even when they've had significant leads, like we saw against the Phoenix and against Adelaide at home, and when Bryce Cotton starts cooking, shut up shop.
Here's Wagstaff muscling his way in from close range, and a foul is going to be called here on DJ Vasiljevic as we go courtside to Steph Baumgarten.
I've just heard it is a record crowd. We have 10,041 fans in the house, and let me tell you, I believe it. It is very loud in here.
Absolutely fantastic work by the Adelaide 36ers. A 33rd consecutive sellout. They were here Christmas Eve with a sellout.
You know what that says to me? They were believing it even when the things weren't going well. They've stuck with them, and now the ownership has put together a team that they can be very, very proud of, because if they can keep this group together for a period of time, that they are going to be contenders for a long time.
Well, it looks like they will. When Cameron, Isaac Humphries, Bryce Cotton, Zylan Cheatham and DJ Vasiljevic all on extended contracts here. Whistle on the play. So the points waved away here. Windler wants them to count.
He's another one that they need to get going when you're down and you're looking for a three-point threat. He can light it up and light it up from range. And they, after a strong start by him, he's only had 7 field goal attempts. He had 10 points at half, didn't score in that quarter, but 3 of 7 from the field.
4 of 20 though, Joey. I don't know if they ought to be looking at threes. Perhaps easy baskets.
Depends on who's shooting it. And Windler's one that you want to shoot it, because of those 21 threes now, he is 2 of 4. The rest, no good.
Nico. Of course, the Wildcats, well, they average 89 points a game, but they were at 101 last season and led the competition, but they lost their 2 leading scorers. And when you lose Bryce Cotton's 28 and 16 a game from Keanu Pinder, it's hard to replace. And that's why they've struggled. But really, Adelaide, credit their defense as well, because this season they're giving up just 86 points a game, which is the best in the competition defensively. And it's the first time since 1994 that Adelaide has had that type of record, and only twice in their 45-year history.
Well, they are playing great defense, Case, but a lot of that also is to do with the way in which they play in a half court. They're so efficient, like we see on the underneath out of bounds. Isaac Humphrey returns to favour to Bryce Cotton with a slick pass.
That's too easy, dude.
But Case, they're the slowest paced team in the comp, I think. So they're very controlled, and that really helps out with their defensive transition.
Speaks to the influence that Mike Wells has had here and what he's been able to do. They've shaved 10 points off what they were allowing opponents season on season. Here's Wagstaff. Shot clock expiring in the background, and Jesse's off the mark, and Humphries with the rebound. I think over 7 minutes left on the clock. Adelaide by 21. They were down 14 in the opening quarter, as Perth with an opportunity here. Doolittle takes on Cheatham and adds to his tally. So 15 now for Christian Doolittle.
Delay game warning against the Perth Wildcats. Now, they've taken Dylan Windler out of the game, which is a little surprising for me at this stage when you're trailing it by 19.
They got bigger problems. Their problem's on the other end. They got to be able to stop somebody. They got to be able to shut Cotton down. And
Ben Henschel has the job on him right now. 7 minutes left on the clock. The Wildcats with huge problems. Just 9 in the third quarter. And only 4 since then. Cotton is off the mark. Pepper leads the charge. Queera joining in, decides to go solo. It's off the mark. Pepper now none of 3 from deep, 1 of 4 from the field overall.
It's way too close. That's a jump ball. This way.
Way too close was the call. And he thought that both players had their hand on it.
Why not ask the other two referees just to see if someone saw it better?
I think he might have given them the little eyes to see if they had an eye on it.
Okay.
So Cotton with it. Shot clock works to 10 here. Got this right where they wanted at the moment, Adelaide, and Cotton just lulls Pepper to sleep and then peels off a three in his face. He's hit 5 of 10 from deep, has a game-high 31.
Coach, that's an example to me of why size helps when you're guarding Cotton. Because Pepper was right there. But
also, Drew, when you played against guys in practice and you've had success in practice against these guys,
spot on.
When you come in the game, it's like playing against your little brother.
Coach, you're in form. Honestly, you are in red-hot form.
The 4 minutes played here in the final quarter. Cameron shows them some tricks. Nothing on offer in terms of a shot, so retreats to the man. Red numbers on the shot clock. It won't bother Bryce Cotton. He fires, this time off the mark. Quera beats Pepper. Their offense has been stagnant and almost impotent since half-time. Quera guarded by Rakocevic again. Broken play, Henschel, Aquera, baseline double team coming in from behind. Cheatham will be called for the foul. It's his third team foul on Adelaide in this term.
Well, look at the Amy replay, and here he just lulls into sleep. Really doesn't do anything. Needed more ball pressure. Joe Luala-Chul checks out of the game, and he, well, facial expression and the body language suggested he's not happy.
Doesn't look happy, does he?
With the decision, but probably more disappointed in the fact that they've only got 62 points and they're trailing it by 22.
Well, he did not score in the third quarter. Windler did not score in the third quarter. Doolittle had 2 in the third, and we know David Duke's been out since the first 3 minutes of the game, and Pepper just 2 in the third quarter. They just couldn't get any offense going at all, and even the bench couldn't come in and chip in either. Margin is 20.
It's hard to see it. You could see it, and it was going to take a miracle, but you could see that a miracle was possible when Adelaide were down similar margin in Perth. Very hard to see it right now from the Perth Wildcats. And just, again, when you don't have that three-point threat, oh, gee.
I'll say it again.
Your defense is porous.
This guy is on fire. You're right, all it took was an opportunity. He's taking advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, I think Clint Cameron's had this. He had this in Melbourne, and this is no disrespect to Melbourne. They just had great guys ahead of him, and it wasn't like that. It was hard. I don't know how you, just because of the personnel that they had, of how you could have found more minutes for him.
A good hands from Pepper. The pass from Rakocevic with a sloppy one.
Oh, my
Pepper from close range. Almost missed the bunny. But he gets a timeout from Mike Wells. Adelaide, though, lead it handsomely here at the moment by 19 with 4.5 to play. A Tangerine timeout. More from Adelaide in just a moment. So you look at the numbers for Flynn Cameron. Last season, 5 points, 2 assists a game in 12 minutes. And this year, with those minutes jumping up to 27, and he's delivering 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 38% from deep with 33 triples.
Well, when you got Shea Ely and Chris Golden playing in front of you,
and Dash Daniels coming in,
you got to understand
Wayne Clark was there last year.
Yeah, you got to understand why he made a move, and it was the right move. You're right. Nothing against Melbourne United; they had some talented guards, but he's getting his opportunity and he's taking advantage of it. He's having a fantastic year. I know that much.
Yeah, and he's having a great time because they're winning. And we look at the Wildcats as they come in, and I hate to say that they've put up the white flag, but when look at their squad they're running with.
Let's go, move on.
So Adelaide, after being down 14 in the first quarter, now find themselves flying high with a 19-point buffer, and there are Flynn Cameron's numbers for you. He's been super impressive in this one.
Did well with New Zealand in that series against Australia as well.
Season high is 20, which came in Cairns in round 3 of the season. Career high of 21 In some danger here in this game. A little over 4 minutes left on the clock. Here's Pepper putting it on the deck against Rakocevic, who rejected the shot, but with use of the body is going to be called for the foul, and free throws to come for Perth.
Let's go, guys. Line up.
Fourth personal foul as well for Rakocevic.
When you think of Flynn Cameron, he has an advantage because he's the son of the greatest ever player to come out of New Zealand,
Royalty, yes.
and Hall of Famer, FIBA Hall of Famer at that. So he's been taught well. Like Pepper, what a season he had in the NBL 1 in Perth. He was just going completely punter with the scoring, averaging over 30 a game.
36 to be precise. Hit 125 threes at 38%. Got his team to the grand final. Had 4 games of 50 plus, including a season high 59 for the Warwick Senators.
Just getting them up.
Inside the last 4 minutes. Speaking of getting them up, Vasiljevic, quick release is off the mark. Henschel scoops up the loose ball. Feeds Doolittle. He can stop trying Doolittle. 11 of his 17 came in the first half as the 3-ball tumbles.
All of a sudden, we're sort of in manageable territory.
14.
Yeah, we're starting to get to a point where a stop and a bucket.
Pepper called for the foul. His fourth, third team foul on Perth in this term.
Strongly suggest you cool down, Mr. Pepper. Strongly suggest. Wait, back here.
Suggestion, calm down, my brother.
Adelaide back in action here on Friday, the 2nd of January, against the Sydney Kings, which is going to be a terrific matchup. Sydney, the only other team along with Perth to have won here this season. And they did it in style as well, upending Adelaide by 24 points.
And you'll probably get, in that game, the top 2 MVP candidates, you suspect. Kendrick Davis, boy, has he just turned it on for the Kings.
A little over 3 minutes to play. Adelaide with it in their control at the moment. Looking for their 10th home win of the season. They haven't had 10 home wins since 2018. When they went to the grand final and lost 3-2 to Melbourne United in an epic series. Noah Waku-Ugat out there for the first time in the game as well, but Perth have coughed it up and Cotton's not going to let them off the hook. He's still got plenty of run in his legs. 31 points in the game, including 10 in the third. And 7 here in this, and now 10 in the fourth as well. And he turns to the fans and says, "Is this what you want?"
And they responded, yes.
As much as you've got. Doolittle elevating, drawing a foul on Cheatham. So that's 4 on Cheatham now, and Adelaide over the limit.
See, the game that we saw where I thought the team did the best job on him, see, that's too much pace. I know he's got some size, Aquera, and he's worried about driving. Run him off the 3-point line. Take the odds to some help off the penetration. Whatever it takes, just minimise the 3-point field goal attempts. But they're not doing that. He's dancing around. He's just got them, the defence, right in their sweet spot. Oh, Case, please tell me about the Ignite Cup.
Yes, a reminder, this is certainly $400,000 up for grabs, 60% going direct to the players. The Hungry Jacks NBL Ignite Cup presented by Disney+. You can scan the QR code, get to the Gold Coast, nbl.com.au/Ignite Cup. Adelaide at the moment 2nd on the Ignite Cup ladder to New Zealand. Perth are 3rd. As Cotton dances inside and adds to his tally. So 36 now for the Maestro.
And if you've got the Disney Plus, I strongly recommend the Taylor Swift series that's out now. It is brilliant. The behind-the-scene look at the Eros Tour. Disney Plus, just getting it done. Providing entertainment for the masses.
Well, there's something you perhaps weren't expecting during the festive season. Andrew Gay's talking up Taylor Swift, but here we are.
Genius. She's the Bryce Cotton of the music industry.
The travelling violation called there on Vasiljevic. So Adelaide turned the ball over, just their 8th turnover of the game. Perth with only 5. They've looked after the ball, both teams. When you consider the pressure, exceptionally well. You see Bryce with 72 threes. Leads the charge at the moment in terms of our Mitsubishi Motors 3-point leaders. Inside from Pepper is off the mark. And here's
They sort of needed that point guard and that leadership, and that's what he brings to the table.
Let's get some reaction courtside with our Foot Locker player of the game. It's Steph Baumgartner with the King.
No surprises, Bryce Cotton is once again our Foot Locker player of the game. Congratulations, a massive home win, and you were able to reclaim the game as well. How did it feel?
I feel good. We didn't really do what we talked about before the game, trying to get the first punch. But I think we bounced back, and we knew just over the course of the game, if we stuck to the game plan, we'd put ourselves in a position to win.
When we spoke pre-game, you said this was a must-win game for both teams. How important was this one to you guys?
Say that last part?
How important was this one to you guys?
Very important. Like I told you, we only got however many games left, so you want to make sure you take care of home court. And, as I said before, steal as many as you can on the road. But we definitely needed this one.
You might not know this yet, but you had a record home crowd tonight, 10,041 fans. I reckon you could hear every single one of them. How much do they lift you?
I mean, it's amazing, when we get some steals or big plays, hearing them cheer for us, we feed off of that environment, and we just want to make sure we continue to give them something to cheer about, but we've done a good job so far this season.
The guys here on the bench are saying you're in the best form you've been in your entire career. Would you agree?
They keep saying that every year, but every year I think it's true.
Keep on leveling up. Well done.
Our superstar of the game, Bryce Cotton, and what a show he produced for us here today. Had 5 points in the first quarter, had 14 at halftime, 24 with a quarter to play, and finished with a flurry, 12 of his 36 in the fourth quarter. It's dynamic again, and he knocked down 6 of 12 threes.
The fact that he's shooting 59% from the field against a team who all week worked on shutting him down, George.
Well, I reckon a lot of that focus would have been with David Duke Jr., so that was a big setback, not having him to guard and use that size and athleticism against him.
He was magnificent. I mean, again, it's like playing against your old team. You know what they're going to come at you with. Even though they know you, they also know how good you are. And that's what he showed.
Let's get some more reaction courtside with Steph.
Another absolute star of the game with me, Flynn Cameron. Congratulations, a huge home win, a huge personal performance as well. How are you feeling?
Feeling good, coming into this game. Even with Perth, they won at home last time, so we wanted to bring the fight this time, and we did.
We have to give you your flowers. You've been playing incredibly well this entire season. What have you been doing to level up your game?
Just working day in, day out, putting in that work, getting feedback from my coaches, always just looking eager to play the next game, Yeah.
You know your dad's a coaching legend as well. Did you spend Christmas together? Did he give you some advice?
Nah, we didn't spend Christmas together because I couldn't catch a flight. The only flight was on Christmas Day, but gave them the biggest phone call ever, you know, that's family right there. But looking forward to when we play in the Gold Coast in January.
Well done.
Thank you.
Flynn Cameron having a terrific season as well. We mentioned he had 15.6 assists in New Zealand's narrow loss to Australia with the Boomers back in November in Hobart was outstanding. But look at the numbers here today. Just been terrific again.
And Mike Wells definitely trusts him. He played 31 minutes, Stuart. He's a kid goes from playing 5 or 6 minutes last year to 31 minutes, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, and 17 points.
Yeah, and he's strong down low. We saw some of the matchups that he had to take, and he can defend multiple positions because he's grit and determination and basketball IQ. So he is he's a keeper for the 36ers. He has announced himself as one of the premier players of the competition.
He certainly is a legitimate player in this competition. Adelaide have won it here by 11 in this game. It wasn't as easy as the scoreline might look, though, because both teams in front in the first 3 quarters. Perth actually led for 23 minutes in this game and Adelaide just 15. But when it counted most, it was 95-84. 11-point win for Adelaide. We'll be back to wrap it up from the Adelaide Entertainment Centre in just a moment.
On your lanes that no one took.
Bro, insane, bro.
I know. We gotta have your back.
Cut through, Z, cut through. Hey, I know he's a big body, but if you can maybe take a charge. Okay. All right, I know you don't want it, but kick it out. Go. Here, CJ. Nice spot up here. I was running to your left. I don't know if you heard me. That's right. Hey! That's okay.
In the zone there with DJ Vasiljevic, who finishes with 17 points in the game, just shy of his season best 22, which came against the Melbourne Phoenix back in November. And long faces for the Wildcats. They're in this for a long way and led by 14 in that first quarter. But they couldn't go with Adelaide, who outscored them 29-9 in the third quarter, and then presumed got out to a 23-point lead before winning eventually by 11. You take a look at those numbers. What do they tell you, boys?
Well, they tell me that the Adelaide 36ers were able to get it done. Look at the rebound count, 43 to 33. And what they did is they found that nice balance between the three ball and attacking the paint. But on the flip side, the Perth Wildcats, 5 of 27 from the three-point line. That's hard to make up in other areas. And when the Wildcats defense was suboptimal beyond that first quarter, then it was always going to be a tough challenge. And as we mentioned with that David Duke Jr., that injury, if he's out for a considerable amount of time, Case, that's going to cause some problems.
Which you think might be the case. He was injured inside the first 3 minutes, hyperextending his elbow. Didn't look good and took no further part in the game. It's the first time in 3 games this season that Adelaide have been able to out-rebound Perth. And rebounding was a serious issue for them last season, but under Mike Wells this season, they've improved dramatically.
Absolutely, and we spoke about, Joe Luala-Chul getting on the glass. The one thing I didn't like about the Perth Wildcats, they didn't go inside. I mean, Joe Luala only got 9 shots, and that's just not enough for a big guy of that magnitude. You got to get him involved, because if you don't, he doesn't rebound, he doesn't play defense. So, and then again, taking all those threes, yes, you want to get going. You don't want to stop anyone from shooting threes, but if they're not going, perhaps look at going inside and getting
And the thing about the Adelaide 36ers, Case, you mentioned the rebounding's a big point, and it certainly was tonight, but they get it across the board. They get their littles that get in there and they bang away on the boards, and that helps contribute. They're not just relying on the bigs dominating the glass. They share it around, and the energy levels to get after it on the glass is well coached, but also instinctive in a lot of the players, like we've mentioned with Flynn Cameron.
DJ Vasiljevic was important again, coming off the bench in this one. Gave them a spark. In the first quarter, they struggled to score, and he came in off the bench, made 6 points out of Adelaide's 20, finishes with 17, and he's embracing this role and knocking down threes, and that's what they need.
Well, I got the question for you. Is he the best 6th man in the league? I mean, he's playing 25 minutes again, 25 minutes tonight. To give him that spark off the bench, who else in this league does that for their team?
Well, I haven't given it a long enough thought. You've thrown that at us, Coach, but I certainly, the way he played today and coming off the bench, I think there's been a bit of a transition period that he's gone through, because I am pretty confident at the start of the season that's not the sort of role that DJ was envisaging. But given the way the team's success, it seems like he's embracing it. It's good for him. It's good for the team. And that would be a tremendous honour if he's able to maintain that form and win that award.
Full credit to him, because he's played 10 games off the bench now, and his numbers have improved, and his plus-minus is where it has been higher than at any stage during his career. So no one, for a proud player like that, dual championship winner in Sydney, came here as the man and now been asked to take a back seat. It's a hard ask, but he's really done a good job of it.
I don't think he believed it in the beginning as well, but the numbers don't lie. When you look at your numbers and you're playing better and you're shooting better and people still love you, then you might have to just accept it.
Well, it's one of the reasons why he left the Sydney Kings, because he wanted to play a bigger role, but he's kind of gone back to that role that he had with Sydney now, albeit there are going to be games like tonight where the minutes, they start to pick up, 25 minutes, and look at the table, and then you can see why it was such a huge win for the 36ers, because it just gives them that buffer zone in that top 2, such a big advantage. And we haven't spoken enough about the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix across the season, because look at them, they're in 2nd place. And looking strong. They've made an addition with Clark coming in that you would think is going to be a positive one. And they have been outstanding, and not a lot of people are talking about them as a genuine championship contender, but they've played themselves in where that conversation should be had.
Top 2, of course, go to the semi-finals directly. 3rd plays 4th to get into a semi-final. They get a double chance. 5th and 6th, sudden death. Winner goes on, sudden death again before you get to the semi-final. So vitally important in terms of finishing top 2. And this is a big game in terms of top 2 for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Tomorrow from My State Bank Arena in Hobart, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. The Jack jumpers against the Phoenix. Good matchup there and a good test because both teams have been guilty of being a little inconsistent.
Absolutely. Now, look, if Southeast Melbourne can do what they've done over the years and play good defense and shoot the ball from outside like they've been doing, then it's going to be a tough game.
And what about the jack jumpers? The way in which that they played at home. They have dropped some games at home that you just did not expect them to do. So it's going to be a tough challenge for them.
Indeed it will be. And great to spend some time during the festive season with Andrew Gaze and Leno Copeland and Steph Baumgartner and all our fans. We'll see you again soon in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.
John, obviously a really strong start, but they worked their way into it second quarter.